Hey guys, and welcome to Teal House Farm. It's Canning Pantry Tuesday, and today we are going to be making some fried green tomatoes with last year's canned green tomatoes. So at the end of every gardening season, the day before the weather's showing we're gonna have our first frost, I will go out and take all the green tomatoes that are left off the vines and I can them. And I can them two ways. The first is that I can slice green tomatoes like this, and then I also can salsa verde, but I use green tomatoes instead of the tomatillas that you're supposed to use, and it's delicious. And I use that in like enchilada soups and things that we eat during the winter when you're wanting something warm and hearty. But today I'm going to open up my last jar of green sliced tomatoes, and we're going to make some fried green tomatoes today. And we're also going to use some other things from our pantry to show how being creative with our ingredients helps a little bit of food go a long way. So obviously we have 1 pint of green tomatoes. I am also going to be using the crushed up hard taco shells. If you watched our eliminating food waste video, which I'll link below, we had leftover hard taco shells from a party we put on, and my kids don't really like hard tacos, and even the ones that do, they just make a huge mess with them because they're little. So I crumbled them up into like a breadcrumb consistency in my food processor, so that's that. And then we're going to make a homemade ranch dip with our homemade DIY ranch. So we'll make this into liquid ranch with a few ingredients, and I will link the recipe for this below. I always keep a huge jar on my counter because we love ranch. So tonight for dinner is like a clear out the refrigerator night. I've been canning some zucchini today, and when I don't do big cooking meals because my stove and everything's just taken up and there's already a million dishes in the kitchen. So yesterday Sam, we had his graduation party just with family to celebrate his graduating from nursing school, yay. And we just had like finger sandwiches and fruits and some like vegetables and things like that. So I have all those left over, so I'm just gonna put all of that out in the fridge and just put it on the table, and the kids can grab what they want. And then I'm making these fried green tomatoes for me because I feel like something with a little bit of tang and spice, which the ranch gives the tang and the tomatoes give the spice with the coating on them. So it's kind of a free-for-all dinner, so that's why we're making these. So let's make them together. It's really simple. Let's grab a few more ingredients that we need other than what I showed you. Okay, here's everything else we need. We have some ground red pepper, cayenne red pepper. We have some paprika, salt, pepper. This is just all-purpose flour, 2 eggs. And then we need some sort of fry oil. I'm going to use vegetable oil today. Usually I like to use lard, but I am completely out. And I have plans probably next week to get a whole bunch of pork and can a bunch of barbecue pork, and then the leftover fat from canning that pork, all the fat we cut off, I will render down to make some more lard as well, so everything goes a long way. But for now, we're just going to use vegetable oil because that's what I got in the pantry. And if you're curious about rendering your own lard, we have a video for that too. It's actually quite simple, just takes a little bit of time. And it's a great way to reduce waste in your house because you're probably already draining that grease and throwing it away anyway. All right, so we're going to make 3 separate bowls. We have a flour bowl, then we're going to have a bowl with 2 eggs, give them a little bit of a whisk scramble there. And then a bowl with our hard taco shells. So if you don't have hard taco shells, you'll want to use about half cornmeal, half breadcrumbs would be a great option. But we're going to use the taco shells today. And to that, I'm going to add probably a couple teaspoons worth of paprika. Try not to just dump the whole thing out here because that's not what we want to do. And about a teaspoon worth of the cayenne red pepper. Like I said, I feel like spicy tonight. You might use less if you're not feeling spicy. We're just going to give that a little mix. Okay, get that mixed together real well so the spices are all worked into that crushed taco shell. And then we're going to try to open up our can of tomatoes here. I always think I can do it with my fingers. Every once in a while I get lucky. Most of the time you need a spoon. We're going to drain out all the water, and we want to make sure they're extra dry so we don't have soppy, soggy fried green tomatoes. So we're going to use a flour sack towel and just lay them out to soak up the extra liquid. You could use a paper towel too if you wanted to. And then we're going to season the actual tomatoes before we coat them. So sprinkle them with a generous amount of salt. Don't be stingy, trust me on this one. And some pepper. And then we're going to flip them over and do the same thing on the other side. Now we're going to get ready to coat them. So the first bowl is our flour, the second bowl is our mixed up egg, and our last bowl is the hard taco and spices. So flour, egg, hard taco spices, and then onto a plate. We're going to coat them all first and then fry them since we're doing kind of a small batch. They should hopefully all fit in one pan. That's what they look like. Let's get our pan ready. We're going to put oil in and we're going to get it nice and hot. And while we're waiting for that oil to heat up, we're going to make the ranch. So it's 3 tablespoons of the ranch mix, a half cup of mayo, a half cup of milk, and a half cup of sour cream. And then mix it together really well. It'll look a little runny at first, but it thickens up when it sits for a minute. Trust me on that one. Our oil is ready, so we're going to put our tomatoes in. We want to make sure they aren't touching, but you can cram as many as you can fit. Going to fry them for a minute on the first side so they're nice and golden brown, and then carefully flip them over. Make sure you wear an apron to protect your clothes and your skin because this oil is hot. And then we'll do a minute on the second side. Here's our little dinner setup buffet with all the leftovers, and let's give it a try, and it's good. There you have it, fried green tomatoes right from the canning pantry. It's a great way at the end of the season to not let those green tomatoes in your garden go to waste, and then enjoy them all year round. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.